My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Yo, Kwasi Pratt Jr. our some for penny at the Inside newspaper. Ano Echrimua, Godfred Dame, Attorney General, the leak video, any audio appear bonting ya na all that accused person be say. Omo enya no baako na omo nche minority leader ato force entum omo omma ho kwan na omo ano na omo njeli no wose saa tape no ote ye no bibie ni ho a ekire se enya ma papa no oso ono waye adwuma ewo tapes ho in fact all his life ono tape no watie dia ye adwuma ni newspaper in fact experience o nyina e tape ho na obetumi a confidently say sa tape no eye owura Godfred Dame eni ne ono ene na kasa wo tape no so na mum esaye ni hu eye ne nwanwa say hey Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana and who yes are criminalities way hey dabi also we die emu ani enyan na MPP for mo so dia na mo person mo kire hey Kwasi Pratt akeka nsem pacho yanko na yanko tie owura Kwasi Pratt ne nsem a okeka yan ewo Good Morning Africa ewo Pan African TV so obra na omo pensem nsem a ekoso ewo Ghana amanyo semu emra pacho anse be commercial say be subscribe to PENDREAM TV na wa like video ye amame na wa share video no eso so ato other platforms so e dey amame pacho wa dwenchire bia na wo dey ato comment section no I say Eddie Amaye and your social media platform now so maybe I PENDREAM TV, Facebook PENDREAM TV Ghana. Young Connie go to information and I say a video number.
So please let's hear from you.
Well, first of all, I want to make the point that all my working life I've had to work with tape recordings. All my working life I've had to work with tape recordings. And I've listened to the tape recording in question very, very carefully. And I'm convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that the tape recording is authentic. It cannot be fake. And this is based on my experience just working with tape recordings. It cannot be fake. So that's the first point. Now, the second point I want to make is that the MPP's claim that there exists a tape recording which should normally have been of 26 minutes but has been reduced to 16 minutes is not the tape recording which has been played. Because the MPP's allegation that the tape recording had been doctored is in relation to a conversation which took place at the residence of a Supreme Court judge. The tape recording which has been made public, the conversation on it did not take place at a Supreme Court judge's house. This is a recording of a conversation between the Attorney General and the third accused person in the case the Hayford trial, Hayford whatever trial. And indeed, that call was made at 7:10 a.m., which is also very important. What is it that made the Attorney General wake up early in the morning at 7 a.m. and call the person that he was prosecuting? What is it? Now, the other thing which for me is important is that if you listen to the conversation very carefully, it confirms that that was not the only conversation which had been had between the accused person and the Attorney General, that there have been several other conversations on the merits and demerits of the case, the prosecution case. But all of that is not the most striking thing. The most striking thing for me is to have the Attorney General actually telling an accused person he's prosecuted in court to falsify documents and send them to the court. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. The Attorney General is telling an accused person he's prosecuting in court to fake documents and send the fake documents to the trial judge. That's when the Attorney General tells him to get a fake medical report, present it to court, only to enable him, the Attorney General, to absent himself from court. Where can this happen? I mean, which sane, rational, decent person can defend this? I mean, unbelievable. No sane, rational person can defend this. It's clear as daylight. But it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. You know, we have an Attorney General who is prosecuting 3 persons in court. Calls one of them and says, look, we are not the target of this prosecution. The real targets are the public officers. So if the third accused should not worry, the case doesn't go against him and so on, why are you prosecuting him? Why are you prosecuting somebody who is not the target of your prosecution? Why are you prosecuting him?
Collateral damage.
What is that statement meant to do? That statement is simply telling the accused person that if only you will collaborate in order to grab the public servants and throw them in prison, you may go scot-free. Completely unethical. Completely unethical. But you see, it doesn't even end there. I mean, there have been all kinds of rumors about how judgments have been procured in the courts and so on. This is the first public confirmation.
Yes.
That the merits of cases before the courts can sometimes be determined in private homes. Shocking!
Yeah.
And the innocent judge, look, I worry for the judge sitting on this case. Innocent judge. She was not at the Supreme Court judge's house. She probably didn't even know that the Attorney General was talking to accused persons and so on. So she's going to sit in court and depend on the evidence which is adduced in court and the arguments made by the Attorney General in order to make a decision, in order to pronounce judgment. This innocent judge may not know of what was agreed and discussed in private homes. So the judge herself becomes a victim of this machination, of this shenanigans. The judiciary should be worried. Yes. The judiciary is getting a very bad name because of the very bad practice of attorneys. If I were the judge, I'd be very worried about this development. You know, all of us, of course, these are matters of extreme public interest. And in matters of extreme public interest, the public is not stopped from making comments. And I know that as a fact. But I'm still cautious, and I'm still guided by the laws of contempt. Okay? And that's why I'm exercising extreme caution, even though this is a matter of extreme public interest. But you see, I am very deeply worried. Alhaji Inusa Fuseni has made some very, very good points. There's evidence before the court. The state, in presenting its case, has submitted a document to court which confirms the state's claim that the vehicles were defective when they were brought in. My brother, when I saw that evidence, I nearly collapsed. What is the state's complaint? that the labels on the ambulance, you see the ambulance carries the Ghana flag on them. They are pasted on it. That they were not pasted well. So because of that, there's some air bubble between the labels and the body of the vehicle. The other defect is that the trolley in the vehicle is too short. Not that the trolley is not in the vehicle, it is in the vehicle, but it is too short. So pushing it is a little difficult and so on. You know the other defect? That the seats given to the medical attendants are not comfortable enough. For this, the state is prosecuting for causing financial loss. I mean, unbelievable. The state is actually prosecuting for causing financial loss because the trolleys are too short. Because the label has air bubbles in them. Now, what is even shocking is that the manufacturers, the suppliers have come and said, look, we are ready to correct all the defects. The state say, no, we are interested in prosecution. We don't want the defects corrected. So, this is the light within which we ought to see the comments made by the Attorney General on the tape. This is the light within which we have to see those comments. And they're shocking to the marrow. You know, I'm not a lawyer, but fortunately we have a lawyer here. When we are arrested by the police for an offense, you are made to write what the police call a caution statement. That is the caution statement which is read in court. Okay? Now, that caution statement is invalidated if the police does not make you aware of your rights before you write and sign the statement. Because the police must tell you that you are entitled to legal counsel. These are your rights as a potential accused person. And the AG must know this. And yet the AG is engaged in conversation with an accused person which can have very serious ramifications for him and so on, and he does not find it necessary to insist on the legal rights of the accused person. He's talking to the accused person without the benefit of counsel. In criminal trials, especially for very serious offenses, when the accused person is unable to procure the services of a lawyer, the state is duty-bound to procure the services of a lawyer. And yet, in this case, look at the conduct of the Attorney General. Amazing and unbelievable. But for me, the worst part of all of this is the fact that as at today, the Ghana Bar Association, which is the guardian of the ethics of the law profession, is silent. Ghana Bar Association is completely silent on this matter. But we know the history of the Ghana Bar Association. We know the commentary it has run on some previous scandals and so on. Why is the Ghana Bar Association numb on this matter? Look, after what has happened, the release of the tape and so on, which Ghanaian, normal Ghanaian, would have confidence in the prosecutorial system that we have? The confidence has been shattered completely. Today we know that if you have a cousin or uncle who is a Supreme Court judge, when you are taken to court, you can go to his house and invite the prosecutor and so on. What does that do to our confidence even in the system of justice delivery? And the Ghana Bar Association is quiet. It is quiet, numb. Ghana Bar Association. You remember the Usa Mills case? Is it Usa Mills? Usa Mills. Yeah. Usa Mills. You remember?
Former Last Minister.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You remember the statement that the Ghana Bar Association made?
Yeah, yes.
In respect of that case?
Yes.
Compare that to this one.
Yeah.
You know, and then for me, I mean, classic. The Attorney General in this conversation actually gets to the point where he's beginning to wonder whether the conversation is being recorded. Why? Because he knows that what he's doing is not correct. Listen, he knows that what he's doing is not correct. This is a monumental scandal. And I think we ought to deal with it in a manner which establishes the facts and also is fair to the Attorney General. Because just as we insist that all persons who are facing criminal trial should be treated fairly, we need also to insist the Attorney General should also be treated fairly. You know, equity. Clear equity. But I'm also wondering, something is nagging me. Something is nagging me, and I'm going to say it. You see, it does appear that the NPP was very anxious in throwing the Supreme Court judge in whose house conversations were had under the bus. It was the national organizer of the NPP who made a disclosure or claimed that the judge is Yoni Kunedi.
Yes.
Why?
Why?
What has Yoni Kunedi done to the NPP? Why were they in a hurry to throw him under the bus? Why? And then it turned out that the tape has nothing to do with Yoni Kunedi's house. The tape which was released was not recorded in Yoni Kunedi's house. And then the claim by the Attorney General that he was trapped by a Supreme Court judge turns out to be false. Also, this indeed is a monumental scandal. And it gets worse if you come to consider the fact that in Ghana, the Attorney General is not just an Attorney General, but is also Minister for Justice. So it is duty to ensure that every Ghanaian gets justice, including the people he's prosecuting. So his duty is not just to secure convictions. His duty is to ensure that justice prevails at all times. His conduct clearly shows that he's not interested in safeguarding justice for anybody. I listened to the former director of the Ghana Law School. I listened to him very clearly yesterday, and he was emphatic and to the point. I hope the Ghana Bar Association will wake up. You know why it is important for the Ghana Bar Association to speak? Because it is the body which enforces ethics for the profession. Okay? It's a guardian as far as the legal profession is concerned. So it is important for the Ghana Bar Association to speak. Quite apart from that, what will the Ghana Bar Association be if the public's confidence in the judicial, the prosecutorial system is further eroded? It has eroded already, but if it's further eroded, what will the practice of law be? And so on. It's important for the Ghana Bar Association to speak because the Attorney General, by his position, is also a member of the General Legal Council.
Yes.
Okay? Yes. And because he's a member of the General Legal Council, the General Legal Council may have limitations in investigating this matter. Yeah. And that is why it is important for the professional body, the Ghana Bar Association, to free itself of the politics, perhaps politics of its leaders, and to deal with this matter dispassionately. Everybody is waiting for the Ghana Bar Association to make a statement. And the Ghana Bar Association must understand that whatever statement it makes will be examined very seriously. We're not going to make it and then we leave it like that and so on. It's going to be examined very seriously. So the integrity of the Ghana Bar Association itself has been placed on the table, and they have to wake up, to their own responsibility. So, what else can I say?
Yes. What am I see? No. These useful submissions I've made have only served to enrich me. Yes. All right.
Yo, obisa for aha and I ura Kwasi Pratt Junior the name someone AC in fact as someone at say the enko be expect say by now enka Ghana Bar Association ka was by now come pie akasa, but as usual and na omo kan as usual say the yin na enim no onya ade omo be kasa because it is one of their own. Attorney General is one of their own. Senkasadi way ekoye Marietta Brew and now say abia any of NDC Attorney Generals in Libya. Hey, komu dimirika by now ka statement be train na pie. And so and no win na ma komano tum shuru obi ampeso kasa because we dey ya idim. What I say, no cray any your mind, no cray any your mind. Yet the nyoma katakati any so, yet the say politics are katakati any so, and yen to mean can of cray, entry to mean can tesanka we can kasabi. Why sabi, why nanka entu ye for enka sanchere a ye Ghana Bar Association say, Sadi with the also mukasam, and also mo condemning. But say NDC apenso dia kasa no ma bia be condemn MPP apenso dia o make catch say asem no court obi am fa dance die mai enso we brother sister ana me ma me papa amuti mi die e course wo tape no mu no ehun hia say obi be twen say ope evidence bi afiri baabi. What evidence and associate and come obi ni obi adi? What evidence? Say nipa no be kan na tra edina no be kan say na nipa ne me kan ya said the beginning okogina court kan ya one provide the audio no and no na man for because for evidence bra nipa no the evidence apie am yehu nkomo a e course wo ne ntem. And so still, yet to one say, then Ghana by train evidence be evidence bang. Say video evidence. And na dia himpa and na Ghana by expectation ka ura Godfred dame emekasa an empache me I am sorry. To watch a cromfo. Na se cromfo na nje ntum so no ne wi aye na adanse die e wo ho e chese cromfo no ne fire. Na chese cromfo no nya cromfo. Now so near Tiano no say MPP or power dia ya che kromfo kra na onye kromfo until say kromfo na nkasa be jetum so e kromfo. This is what is going on in Ghana. No krodie asa say Attorney General, Minister for Justice wa kasebi wo no enka Ghana ye ka say atemu papa a ye beka na se obi ekọ ahohiahia problem bi mu a wo enanka wo gina mu masa nipa no wo hwɛ sɛ atentene ne be ye adwuma nanso da bi wo mum ena wo hye akiri ena wo skimi bone kufuado amanyoku akufuado aban akufuado team akufuado squad bone mafiaism bone wickedness and no more dia kenten institutions ni nyina so wickedness hu ba bi mu kosua sa anyoma no wickedness bone atumodin and no more de to no more say institutions we yemfa kwan bi so yin mfiri ho we on the IGP yemfa kwan bi so no more planning scheme a recording nyoma ni ebe say everyday scheming yen scheming enkwa say aden aman yosem nti sei nete woni obi nya adwene a na say fa kwan bi so e crampi nipa no na fa kwan bi so kan nipa na ntum aden tabi aman yosem democracy nya sa nete o Sir Rollins yes anka wo Akufo-Addo wa nya ho am be president new Sir Rollins ka say obehwe wo nsem hunu no bia sabi udi no a friend say from 2002 to 2000 from 1992 to 2001 nke bia anka wo am be president because kumi prako e course ma manfo wuye no na wo ka ho wo ye leader of the kumi prako, you were part of the leaders. But I say, but you am prosecute mo. Anhwe anko fama to jail. Kenye say ne wo be president a wo nam kwan so eskimi bone e de atia wunua no e de atia nipa ade enum guase e na ne aka Ghana portal dishonorable people and the dear Mampina Akufo-Addo echi. Say undimi nye papa India Mampina Akufo-Addo echi. Wow ye papa ni be you free. A papa e wo MPP, a papa for wo MPP for mu nyina ya pamon. Ade. Dia na ekoso. What is going on? Bonnie. Aha a PENDREAM TV. Make sure so subscribe to the channel. Now I like the video. Now I share to other platforms. So I've been chile so now they are to comment section. No, I say Eddie. Am I a bit me a question? Am I for so to me any be ahwe. Make sure PENDREAM TV or social media platforms. So baby a PENDREAM TV over Facebook a PENDREAM TV Ghana and bra na yenye ejuma. PENDREAM TV. I say Edamu yopo.
Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.